You'd think winter would be the most dangerous season to ride, ice and snow and the whole frozen mess. But statistically, it's not. Autumn is. Across the US, more than 72% of drivers live in states where fall sees the highest crash damage of the year. And in 39 states, that's almost 80%, fall has more crashes than winter ever does. And it's not just America. Across temperate regions worldwide, crash rates spike after the clocks change. The UK sees up to a 60% jump in evening collisions, and studies in Europe and Canada show the same surge. But October, crisp air, fall colors, the best riding of the year, quietly racking up more crashes than any other month. Evenings around 6 are the worst, daylight's fading and people are rushing home through the glare of the sun sitting low on the horizon. It's the perfect time to ride. The air feels alive, the bike runs great, you can finally wear your favorite leather jacket without sweating your face off. And every color on the mountain is begging you to take the long way home. But that's what makes it dangerous. We push harder to squeeze in a few last perfect rides before the month's off the bike. And autumn pushes back with wildlife that thinks the road is part of its mating ritual. So today, we're going to break down 4 categories that can turn your best ride of the year into your worst. Hi, my name's Dave. I've been a professional motorcycle coach for over 25 years. I've taught both basic and advanced state rider courses. I'm a champion certified coach, and I even work with local motor officers. So before you chase the last few canyons of the season, let's talk about what's really happening underneath you. Let's start with surface, where every mistake meets the road. The first thing that changes in autumn is the road itself. Pavement takes longer to warm up. A surface that was perfect in July might stay cold to the touch until midday or may never even get warm because the sun is so low in the horizon. And remember, when the road is cold, it will actually pull heat out of your tires, taking even more grip with it. In other words, it just means less heat, less grip. And we'll talk more about this in a minute. And then come the leaves. Wet or dry, they're trouble. Wet leaves are as slick as ice, and dry ones, they may be hiding cold or damp asphalt beneath them. Piles can be fun to blast through like Duke's a Hazard, but they can hide gravel or cracks or tar snakes waiting underneath. Even if it feels warm, frost or moisture or even black ice show up early, especially on bridges and shaded corners. And you might not see it, but you'll certainly feel it if you hit it. And then our favorite nemesis, road sealant, rolling joints, gummy worms, the dreaded tar snakes. They also change character this time of year. In summer, they're soft and sticky, and in cold weather, they harden and turn slick, especially when damp. Same with early road treatments. Some areas of the world like to prep the roads early with salt or de-icer scattered before the first freeze. They collect in braking zones, and especially around the outside of bends, exactly where we don't want them. And autumn's uneven moisture creates mixed traction corners. One lane's bone dry, the other's damp from shade. You can't rely on yesterday's memory of the road. The surface changes, sometimes hour by hour. So trust traction less. Look further ahead and adjust earlier. Smooth is safety in the fall. And that brings us to what our eyes are dealing with. Autumn doesn't just change the road, it changes what you can see and what can see you. The sun sits lower now, so during morning and evening commutes, glare hits right at visor height. Drivers coming the other way are staring straight into it half blind, which means you're invisible. So here's a fun reminder, if you can see your shadow, oncoming traffic cannot see you. And then there's riding through the good stuff. Ride through the canyons or wooded mountain roads, and you get that strobe effect. Light, shadow, light again. It's beautiful, but it messes with depth and speed perception. Your brain starts working overtime just to track the motion. Then there's fog and condensation. You leave home in clear air, but halfway up the canyon or dropping down into a lowland, and your visor can start to fog. Mirrors, haze, and visibility shrinks to a tunnel, and it can happen fast. And just when visibility drops, wildlife comes out. Deer and elk and moose. It's rut season, which means deer are out there making terrible life choices for the sake of romance. Think of it as wildlife Tinder, only everyone's drunk and running across traffic. Now, across most of the Northern Hemisphere, nearly half of all deer collisions happen between October and December, and studies show they spike right after the clocks change. The same pattern shows up in Europe and Canada. Earlier darkness, more animals on the move, more collisions. Now add in autumn wind fronts, those sudden cold gusts rolling off the mountains. 1 second the air's calm and the next is shoving you towards the center line. So slow your speed, slow your inputs, smooth your responses. Your eyes and brain are under extra load. And that's before we even get into what your motorcycle's going through. Most street-biased tires don't start to really grip until they're about 140 to 160 degrees Fahrenheit or 60 to 7 degrees Celsius. Below that, the rubber is too cold to grip properly, especially on shaded or high elevation roads. And you can't rush them to temperature either. Weaving does nothing except for make you look like you're avoiding invisible snakes, with the added benefit of making you a lot more likely to fall because your tires are cold. The right way to build heat is steady acceleration and firm braking. You have to let the carcass flex to do the work. According to Yamaha Champ School, cold tires are one of the leading causes of motorcycle crashes. So the importance of letting your tires come up to temperature can't be overstated. Now, batteries and oil also show their true colors in cold weather. Weak batteries that cranked fine all summer suddenly give up. Thick oil slows throttle response or your suspension. Your engine and everything will feel heavy, like towing an anchor through syrup. Now, speaking of gear, I want to take a minute to talk about one of our channel sponsors, NBT Clothing. And let me show you something. This is one of my favorite jackets. It's an old handmade Vanson leather coat. It's beautiful and it's timeless and full of character. Problem is, no armor, so I tend not to ever ride in it, like ever. But check this out. This hoodie from NBT changes the game. It has full CE armor in the back, shoulders, and elbows. And thanks to the fit and design, now my vintage jacket is armored. I can wear my Vanson, look classic, and still have modern protection. NBT's gear is built for real riders. It's armor you can live in. With the pants, the armor comes out from the knees from the outside. I mean, how great is that? It's breathable and styled so you look good. I mean, what I really love about NBT is that it's protective riding gear that looks normal. You can wear it into a coffee shop and nobody stares, wondering why Batman's ordering a latte. You can stop for gas without looking like you're auditioning for Mighty Morphin Power Rangers midlife crisis. You can meet friends for lunch without looking like you're auditioning for Fast and the Furious, the dad years. I mean, that's what I love about NBT. It's protection you'll actually wear. So if you're thinking about upgrading your riding gear, go check out NBT. Link is in the description, or you can scan the QR code. And remember to use coupon code CanyonChasers for a tidy little discount. Okay, let's get back to this. Now remember, the sun drops fast and the days are shorter, so that tinted visor that works great at noon and all summer long can be dangerous at 5. So carry a clear shield or use a photochromatic one that adapts automatically. Now heated gear is a gift, but test the draw on your electrical system and make sure the cords don't limit your movement. And if you are wearing more thicker, warmer gear, it can hamper your movement and be distracting. Now, autumn brings out the best roads and the worst decisions. After a summer of steady miles, most riders feel sharp and confident, which is exactly when the season decides to change the rules. The same corner that felt perfect in August now hides wet leaves, a deer, and a driver who just discovered that trees are pretty. Drivers are distracted. Half of them are filming leaves out the window, and the other half are blinded by the low sun. You could be dressed like a neon traffic cone and they still would not see you. With fewer bikes on the road, drivers stop expecting us. We become a surprise again, like taxes and in-laws. Then there's our mindset. We all want to squeeze in one last great ride before the long winter hibernation, which sounds poetic until you realize that one last ride is exactly what too many people get. And look, after months of warm weather, consistent traction, and working on building good habits, we often start trusting the road and our tires too much. The first cold corner of the season is usually the one that reminds us that the rules have changed. The solution is boring but effective. Ride deliberately, leave more space, more time, and more patience. The best riders are not the ones pushing the hardest, they're the ones who adapt fastest. Autumn rewards smooth, thoughtful riding and punishes ego. Keep your head clear and your throttle gentle, and you'll finish the season with stories instead of scars. So you know how G.I. Joe used to say,
"And knowing is half the battle."
G.I. Joe! Well, that's true on two wheels too. When overconfidence meets autumn, it's a drunk moose after eating too many fermented apples. Unpredictable, slippery, and absolutely convinced that it knows what it's doing. But fall riding doesn't have to be about fear. It's about adaptability and awareness. Once you know how this season changes everything, traction, light, wildlife, even your own habits, you're already halfway to having that spectacular fall ride that keeps you warm all winter. The other half is what you do when things still go pear-shaped. So if you want to keep building on this, watch Overcooked a Corner, How to Save Yourself, because sooner or later, every rider finds themselves a little too hot into a turn, and this video walks you through what to do next. So ride well, stay smooth, and remember, autumn rewards patience more than bravery. So yeah, I'll see you over there.